Okay, in this video, we're going to get into probably one of the most powerful things in Photoshop, and that's masking. Alright, so masking basically is going to help you create so many different things in Photoshop. So one of the most popular uses I use it for is to change skies if you wanted to. So basically to do a mask, it's this button down here that says Add Mask, Add Layer Mask. Alright, so what I want to do first is I want to make this sky onto this image. Alright, so this is a really drastic difference in images here, but just using these for examples. Alright, so I have this background of this sky over the ocean. And then I have also this image at the ocean as well. And I kind of lined them up, lined up the horizon line the best I could. But you can move that around later, no big deal. Alright, so we're going to go to our top image. It's a background copy. And we're going to add a layer mask. Click on this icon right here. Okay, when you click this mask, you're going to have this little white square over here. That is actually the layer mask of it. To remove stuff, you're going to get your brush tool and you're going to make sure that your color is on black. Alright, so it's going to be black and white. If we deleted this, the colors I was using before were white and red on my last project, but once you hit this mask, it's going to automatically switch it to black and white. Okay. Alright, so we have our brush, and if you remember in the brush, we're going to make it a little bigger by holding the right bracket key down. And you can just paint. Let's bring this opacity up. Just paint to reveal the underneath. Okay, so that's all your masking is going to do. Alright, so basically really quickly, obviously this image doesn't go with this because the sun's right here, but really quickly we just transform the sky into something differently. Alright, so that's using your layer mask. Now, say, in this area, we went a little crazy and messed up. We don't want this, so we can actually switch our brush from black to white and just paint back over it. Okay, so obviously this is just a real quick example of how it works, that you can, take your time, make your brush smaller or larger, zoom in and out, to get in the details, and you can actually transform, change skies, all kinds of different things really quickly using the mask. Alright, so that took, like a minute to change it. Obviously, you want to make sure that your background or whatever you're changing to is going to match up with the image. Obviously, this doesn't, but you get the idea. Alright, so if you wanted to turn this mask off, see it over here, you just hit Shift and click on it, and it will turn that mask off. Okay, and then you can just click on it again, and it'll turn it back on. Okay, if you want to see the mask, which I have never really done, I don't really need to, if you hold down your Alt and click on it, it'll bring up the mask in this big window here. And then you just click back on your image to hide it. Alright, so that's a real quick how-to on changing some skies really quickly. Obviously, you want to spend more time on it and make it look right. But you can just tweak your mask, make sure X is going to hide. You hit X to change it back to white. just going to bring it back. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to delete that mask. You can just hold it down, drag it down to the trash can, boom. Are you sure you want to, do I want to apply it? No. I want to delete it. However, you can apply it. Let's Control Z, let's bring it back. You can hit Apply Layer Mask. And now, that mask is applied and everything else disappeared, kind of like using an eraser tool, which I never use. Okay, so pretty simple. Alright, but they are complex. Simple but complex. You're going to use them a lot. It's going to up your game up on editing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer mask. You can right click, hit delete, and it's gone. Alright, so another way you can use it, say I have these two images here, I can create a mask, make sure we're on black, messed up there, hit X to bring it back to white. Hit Control T and we can move this. Make sure you're on your mask when you paint. And we just merge those two images together using masks. Alright, so if you're on a mask with your brush tool, if you actually clicked onto the object, let's turn these off, let's create a mask here. You paint over the image. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure when you're doing masks that you're actually on the mask itself. Okay? So if you're on the image, it's just going to paint. You definitely don't want that. Alright, so make sure when you're doing masking that you're actually on the actual mask. If you mess up, just bring white to your foreground color, you hit X. X to back up. So you can spend a ton of time on an image to make it look really nice. Alright, that's using masking.